Hi everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra, here again today with Scott Yarbro, the CEO of Firearms Legal Protection. We're here at SHOT Show 2025 in the Mantis booth. It's been a recent kerfuffle in this space, Scott, about covering illegal acts.
Right.
And I'm not, Mark Victor lives in my town. He runs attorneys on retainer. This has been a big thing. And he's got kind of a reputation now of like, hey, wait a minute, there's all these excluded things and no, everybody else sucks and only attorneys on retainer will cover you because they'll find any reason to disavow coverage. I want to talk to the CEO of FLP about that.
To win the fight after the fight, you need help. After a use of force, I trust Firearms Legal Protection to help me win the fight for the rest of my life. From their 24/7 attorney-answered hotline to coverage for the use of all legal tools, Firearms Legal Protection has you covered. Get a discount by signing up at the link below.
I think there's a difference between marketing and trying to convince people that you're the best and actually what happens in reality.
That's exactly the truth.
So I think what people are worried about here, Scott, is, wait a minute, I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm a good person. I'm trying my best. I don't want to get in a gunfight. And then God forbid I end up having to. And I made a mistake and I carried past the no gun sign and now I'm screwed.
Right.
Can you talk to us about that kind of scenario?
Sure. Again, and what we're trying to do is to be able to cover people who legally protect themselves. We're not here trying to dissect this every situation and decide where are you covered, where you're not, where you're going. Were you in fear for your life? Did you defend yourself? If those are the cases, then that's great. We're not here to pick apart the case and be like, oh, you were in a space where you can't have a gun. That's not what we're after. We're here to provide coverage. We're not here to deny coverage. We're not a marketing firm that is trying to do that. You can Google us, search us. We've been around for 10 years now. We don't have Google remarks saying we don't cover our members. We look for ways to make sure we provide our members coverage.
No, I mean, so people are like, well, okay, but the contract says, the contract's written by lawyers.
Of course.
And of course, here's my thing. When somebody says, well, no, we will expressly cover illegal acts. Where's the end of that?
No. First of all, that is nothing that we have any interest in, period. I mean, now you've opened up the book to, like you just said, where do you draw the line? Where do you stop? Now, our coverage was designed to help those Americans who are honestly protecting themselves, not to be financially ruined for the rest of their life.
And again, I mean, so when that happens, and I really think for everybody, like the real product Firearms Legal Protection has is trust. Mm-hmm. That you pay into the system and we will take care of you if the worst day of your life happens. We'll at least take care of the legal end and the financial end of that for you. And guys, I'm a Firearms Legal Protection member too. I can show you, in fact, I'll do it. Why not? I mean, seriously, there is my old school. See how old this is?
That is the original ASP card.
And look at ASP 00001, and it's still in my wallet, which is even, Neil doesn't get one. I got one. Yes, finally I won something. And it's programmed in my phone, of course, and my wife's phone, which is very, very important because I want to get on the phone with that attorney if I need it. So I'm depending on the same coverage. And of course, to me, when I say, well, I'm going to cover illegal acts, will a criminal defense attorney represent somebody who has committed an illegal act? Sure, that's their job every day. That's what they do. If somebody commits armed robbery and shoots a guy in the midst of an armed robbery, that person is required to have representation by the Constitution. That doesn't mean that Firearms Legal Protection is going to pay for the defense of an armed robbery.
No, absolutely not.
And so, I mean, and of course you can't then talk about, well, we don't care about all these other things. You just can't come out publicly and say, sure, we don't care, break the law, it's fine, and as long as you're mostly good, we're good. You can't say that.
No.
You certainly couldn't say that in a public space because you're a good person and that would be stupid. But, I mean, obviously, when it goes to the claims department and goes to the board that decides coverage, are they able to bifurcate? No, this is a good person who got in a defensive gunfight that, or a use of force involving pepper spray or something like that, that it wasn't perfect, but we understand and they're going to be covered.
Yep, and also understand when it does come to them, they're trying to analyze what's going on. They're not there to make a decision on if they were right or wrong. We're going to let that go through the legal system.
Sure.
You're very well versed in that. So getting to there doesn't mean they're getting charged with that crime. A lot of the times, if a member is in a place that maybe they shouldn't be with a gun, maybe they're not getting an unlawful charge of carrying that firearm, but they're still getting a second-degree murder charge.
Right.
And that's what we're there to be able to protect.
Right.
So a lot of people have to understand how the system works, what you're going to go through, and we're not there to be the ones trying to make the decision. We want to be there to provide you the assets that you need to work yourself through the court systems.
So my understanding to you, I don't want to create beef with Mark. Okay, he lives in my town. I've had lunch with the guy. You've had lunch with the guy.
We've had lunch too.
Listen, I've even straight up when he ran for the Senate, I voted for him. I live in the state of Arizona. I feel like there's a little marketing thing going on here, and I get it. Different companies want to market their strengths, and they want to have those things. And I don't have any beef. Those things for me and for mine. My beef is I've had a couple people say, "Well, John, you just trust Firearms Legal Protection, or you tell people to go there because they pay you." It's actually backwards. If you know me at all, and you've been around me, I'm straight up. I have turned down hundreds of thousands of dollars of marketing dollars. Stephanie, my CEO, is standing behind the camera, and she's like, "I'm well aware of how much money you've turned down." And we've turned down because we don't believe in the product,
right.
Because I wouldn't use it, because I wouldn't trust my family to it. I trust Firearms Legal Protection. And this is the last couple of years as well. I think a lot of people, maybe they do or maybe they don't, that I'm a consulting expert, that the entire attorney network can just call me.
Absolutely.
That if you got an FLP covered client, your attorney can just call me for a consult, or email me. Please email me. And hey, John, I've got a case here. Can you give me a look over on it? Now, don't get me wrong. If I end up being disclosed, well, then Scott and I are going to talk about what that's going to be. We'll take care of it. But I do those consults as part of my job for Firearms Legal Protection. So do I want somebody who says, I will cover illegal acts? I don't.
Yeah.
I personally don't. To me, I struggle with the moral stance of that. I know you do too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a market for it out there, but it's not the space that we live in.
Yeah, I as a guy, so I'm not telling you how you have to be. I'm telling you I'm a follower of Jesus, okay? So I'm a follower of the way of Jesus. I don't want to be on the side of, I'm just going to, I'm going to take advantage of others, because to me, the use of force laws and moral code are very, very similar, very close. I don't want to be somebody that's like, yeah, but if I decide that, I'm going to have a road rage incident and bust some guy upside the head with a baseball bat, that's covered because it's a use of force and with a weapon. Nah, man, that's not what I want. So good stuff with Firearms Legal Protection. Be cautious with that stuff of we'll cover any illegal act. I'm hoping here, what we're hoping to do here pretty soon is have a few Firearms Legal Protection covered clients come on the podcast and tell their story.
Yeah.
The struggle with that, of course, is we want to respect their privacy. And certainly a lot of people, they get into use of force and they don't want to talk about it. And I honor that. I think that's totally understandable. We're asking a few who have if they're willing.
Yeah,
and we'll see.
And I think what you're asking is a little bit different. We're not using it to try to have a testimonial to promote the product.
No.
The way you use it is to be able to share their stories, to continue the education to help others.
Yeah, and to say this is how it really goes. Right. So not telling you what to do. I mean, I'm encouraging you. I use Firearms Legal Protection for a reason. Why? I wouldn't call Scott if I got any use of force. I'd call the 800 number.
Yep.
Straight up. I know who and here's the other part for me that I really love. I know who the trusted attorneys are in my town who are Firearms Legal Protection. I mean, Tim Forshee is the one who I would call. Why is Tim on the channel all the time? I first met Tim through Firearms Legal Protection, and he's the guy I'd call the 800 number to start that ball rolling, and then hang up with them and call Tim, because I got Tim's cell phone number. And we'd go from there. But in every state that they're in, they've got those people. And we know who, not only that they're a criminal defense attorney, but they're experienced in use of force. They understand these issues, and they will help. No other company really has that.
No.
So, guys, that's why I recommend them. Don't want to start huge beefs. I get it. I can just already smell a rebuttal coming. I can already smell the hurt comments coming. Those things. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to be kind but professional and set the record straight on what really are the issues here. Okay. I want a great local attorney who knows the rules in their town, knows the system in their town, knows the process in their town, is admitted in their state, so that they know the laws there and how that in particular works. I don't love somebody coming in pro hoc vice. I don't mind. I really love an experienced attorney from out of the state who can come in and advise, who can come in and consult. We have that too, right?
Yep.
Hey man, let's help that. But I want a great local bar admitted attorney in that town. And I don't want somebody who's like, yeah, I don't care, armed robbery, carjacking, you're in the carjacker and we'll cover you. I don't like that. That just is not by my moral code. So appreciate doing business with you, man.
Absolutely.